I'm Anil Kumar, and we will further explore the compound angle formulas in this video. The idea is get used to these formulas and you should kind of remember them, okay? The question here is, use the appropriate compound angle formula to determine the exact value of each expression. Explain how you can check your result. Well, that's very important, so we'll talk about it later. First, we have to use compound angle formula. So let me write down the compound angle formulas for sine and cosine. Sine A plus B is actually equals to sine A cos B plus cos A sine B, correct? And cos A plus B is what? It is cos A cos B minus sine A sine B, right? So these are the formulas which we have to apply in solving these or finding the value of these trigonometric expressions. So we have sine pi plus pi by 6. Let us expand using the formula A plus B, right? So it is sine A cos B, that means sine of pi, cos of pi by 6, that's what it means, plus cos A, cos of pi, sine of pi by 6 equals to what? Now you don't have to use calculator for all these, right? Now whenever you're looking for sine and cosine functions like this, I normally take help of the graph itself. So sine functions, are kind of like this. Let me sketch one for you. Sine, right? This is your sine function. As far as the cosine function is concerned, it is like this. Is it okay? 0 to 2 pi. Now sine of pi means this value. It is 0, correct? So we have here 0 times something which is 0, correct? And here cos of pi, this is pi, this is 0, this is 2 pi, correct? Well, I know most of you know this, but still it helps. And then we have pi by 6. To find the value for pi by 6, it's a good idea to make your right triangle. So pi by 6 is this angle for us, and the sides are 1, 2, square root 3. So from here we can write down the values. Now we know sine pi is 0, so it is 0 times cos pi by 6, that means square root 3 over 2, plus cos pi is minus 1, so we have minus 1 times sine pi by 6, which is half, correct? So that is what you get. Now let me just separate this out. Okay, and so 0 times anything is 0. You're left with minus half. So what you get here is minus half. So that is how you can do it. Now the second part to this question is explain how you can check your result. Now there are so many ways to check this result. Let me explain you a couple of ways. Let's do one way is sine pi plus pi by 6. It means what? It really means that here this is 0, this is pi. So pi plus pi by 6 means terminal arm is in quadrant 3. Okay? So that is pi plus pi by 6. So this acute angle is pi by 6 for you. Correct? Since sine is in quadrant 3, it is negative. Correct? We know all are positive here. Sine is positive in quadrant 2. Tan is positive in quadrant 3 and cos is positive in quadrant 4, right? In quadrant 3, sine is negative. That is first part. Second part is that the acute angle is pi by 6. So if I do like this, I get pi by 6. And sine of pi by 6 is how much? Pi by 6 is half. So we are expecting answer as half. Do you see that? Minus, because it is in quadrant 3, perfect, and pi by 6 is the acute angle, therefore this should be equal to minus half. That is one way of doing it. Do you get it? The other way is you can use transformations. So if there is any angle x, if there are coordinate point x and y here, you can consider a unit circle. In that case, in quadrant 3, these values will change, right? X is getting reflected, so we get minus x and minus y. So whatever value of sine you have in quadrant 1, it becomes negative of that in quadrant 2. Since the acute angle is pi by 6, right? So this ratio should be 1:2. Is it okay? When I'm taking unit circle, then I'll write half here. Okay. Anyway, since I prefer to use my special triangle, I prefer to use 1 and 2 just to show you the value. It is basically a ratio, right? So you could use transformation. This is rotational transformation, which can help you get the answer, right? So now I expect you to answer other questions using compound angle. So that is the formula for you. So you can say cos pi by 2 plus cos pi by 3 minus sin pi by 2 sin pi by 3. Plug in the values. Pi by 3 is this angle, right? So we can write down the values and fine. In this particular case, we are talking about sine minus pi by 2 plus pi by 4, right? So let me write this first. So here what we get is sine of, either you could do a minus b formula, no problem. Minus means this minus will make that minus. Do you see that? You can use sine a minus b formula. That is easy way of doing it. Or you could also think like this. Sine of minus theta is equals to minus of sine theta. Is it okay? Or you could think like this. Sine is, when it is minus, then you are in this quadrant. Do you get the point? So if you are in this quadrant, then the sine value should be negative, correct? So these are different ways of looking into that part, correct? So let me follow this approach. So we'll expand this using sine A plus B formula, okay? So we say sine of A is minus pi by 2. Let me write minus pi by 2. Cos of pi by 4 plus cos of minus pi by 2 sine of pi by 4, correct? Now, as I was saying, sine minus pi by 2, for sine pi by 2 it is plus 1, but minus pi by 2 will return me minus 1. Got the idea? Cos pi by 4, that means we are looking into the triangle, pi by 4 triangle, where the values are square root 2, and 2, right? So we could write cos pi by 4 as square root 2 over 2, right? Plus, now we have cos minus pi by 2. For cos pi by 2, it is 0. So it is 0 times sine pi by 4, which is square root 2 over 2, right? 0 times anything is 0. So we get the answer minus square root 2 over 2, right? So we get our answer. That this expression is equals to minus square root 2 over 2. Perfect. So that is what we get. Now, how can you check it? Check is very simple, just as we did here. Sine, you should say pi by 4 minus pi by 2. So, in your triangle, let me say pi by 4 is kind of here, right? That is pi by 4. And from here, you take away pi by 2. So, you land up here, correct? That is sine of minus pi by 2 plus pi by 4. Since you are in quadrant 4, sine is negative. So you get negative, and the acute angle is pi by 4. So we'll use this triangle. Square root 2 over 2 is the value expected, right? So you get the same answer. Do you get the point? So that is how you can actually do it. Now, I'm leaving this portion for you, but I'm giving the answer. Well, actually, it's also a co-function identity. We are looking into cos of pi by 2 plus pi by 3. So let us say this is pi by 3 for us, right? So this angle is pi by 3. When I add pi by 2, that means we land up here, right? So we have added pi by 2. So pi by 2 plus pi by 3 is this whole angle. Do you get the point? You are in quadrant 2 where cosine is negative. So we get negative value. Second, whenever you add or subtract pi by 2, it changes to sine function, right? So we will basically get sine of pi by 3, which, let's look into the value. Pi by 3 is this angle, right? So we get minus sine square root 3 over 2. So that is the answer which you should get once you expand it using compound angle. I hope the steps are clear. And with this, actually, I've covered most of the part of the chapter here, explaining you quite a few concepts which should help you to understand compound angles in different ways. I hope that helps. I'm Anil Kumar. Subscribe to my videos and learn a lot. Thank you and all the best.